All right, today we're talking about a year that's shaping up to be a massive turning point for artificial intelligence. We're zeroing in on 2026, the year AI completely rewrites its relationship with pretty much every single one of us.
For the last few years, we've gotten pretty comfortable with AI as this thing we command. It's a clever chatbot, a neat little content generator, basically a tool we use. But that's all about to change. Because in 2026, AI gets a job. It makes the leap from being a passive assistant you have to direct every step of the way to becoming an active, autonomous partner that actually takes initiative for you. This is a huge, huge deal. Okay, so let's get into the core idea here. The term you're going to hear everywhere is agentic AI. And this isn't just about asking a question and getting an answer. No, this is about AI understanding a high level goal, like plan my entire business trip to Tokyo, and then it breaks that down, makes decisions, and actually executes the plan across a dozen different apps, all without you micromanaging.
And listen, this is not some niche little experiment happening in a lab somewhere. Just follow the money. The world's biggest tech companies are set to spend over $600 billion on AI infrastructure in 2026 alone. That's a 36% jump from the year before. This isn't a trend, it's an absolute economic tidal wave.
So, what makes 2026 the magic year? Well, it's the moment AI moves out of what some are calling the era of learning and jumps headfirst into the era of reasoning and execution. It's about AI finally graduating, taking all that book smarts, and applying it in the real world. So, how does this actually happen? I mean, how do we get there? Well, before these AI agents can do anything, they need a new kind of brain, a much, much more powerful one. And that story starts with the hardware. Now, what's really wild about this slide is just the sheer scale of the leap we're seeing. Just look at NVIDIA's Rubin platform, slated for 2026. The inference performance, that's the ability to actually use the AI, jumps by 5 times. But here's the real kicker. Look at memory bandwidth. It nearly triples. That is absolutely crucial for these agents that need to process insane amounts of info to make smart, complex decisions on the fly. And this solves a massive problem that the industry has been calling the memory wall. Basically, the AI processors got so fast that they were just sitting around starving for data. They were literally waiting for information to arrive. Well, the new HBM4 memory standard, showing up in 2026, just smashes right through that wall, it lets the data flow, and it finally unleashes the full potential of these new AI brains. And this new hardware brain isn't just going to be stuck in a data center. It'll show up in products you can actually see and touch. Tesla's Optimus robot will use it to work on factory floors all by itself. Your Samsung phone might literally change its physical body back to aluminum just to handle the heat from an AI agent that's always on. And models like GPT-6 will get persistent memory, which means it will actually remember you and your preferences from one chat to the next. Finally, so with the hardware in place, the battleground shifts to software. And the biggest companies on the planet are in an all-out race to make their platform the one where your AI agents live and work. This is a fight to become the new operating system for your entire digital life. And get this, it's not just about one single AI assistant doing everything. The vision for 2026 is what's being called a multi-agent workforce. Think of it like hiring a whole team of specialized AIs, each with a different skill, all collaborating on a complex project for you. Microsoft's strategy illustrates this perfectly. In 2026, you'll be able to give Copilot a really vague goal, like, hey, kick off the new marketing project. Copilot won't try to do it all by itself. Nope. It'll act like your project manager, delegating tasks to a planning agent, a scheduling agent, even a design agent. And then it'll just report back to you when the job's done. So the bottom line is, each of the tech giants is playing this game differently. Google wants to turn search from a list of links into an agent that actually takes action for you. Microsoft is all in on the corporate world, building a secure way to manage armies of AI agents. And Apple, well, being Apple, they're betting the farm on privacy, trying to do as much of this incredible work as possible right on your device. But all of this amazing digital work has a massive, very real physical footprint. To actually support a world full of autonomous agents, you need an almost unimaginable amount of infrastructure. And that creates a whole new, gigantic challenge. Because running trillions of calculations every second, it takes a shocking amount of electricity. I mean, the existing power grids, they just can't handle this kind of demand. So where on earth is all that energy going to come from?
And the answer is as surprising as it is ambitious. Big tech is going nuclear. Microsoft is actually involved in projects to restart old plants like 3 Mile Island. Amazon is wiring its data centers directly into nuclear facilities, and Google is investing in next-gen small modular reactors. They're making a multi-billion-dollar bet that nuclear power is the only way to fuel this AI future. And it's not just about power, it's also about heat. All that computing generates an incredible amount of heat. So much so that by the end of 2026, nearly half of all data center racks are going to need liquid cooling. Data centers are evolving into what the analysis calls energy computing integrated factories. These are massive industrial sites totally dedicated to producing intelligence. So, after hundreds of billions of dollars are poured into chips and power plants and software, the end of 2026 brings the ultimate test. Wall Street and the market are going to start asking a very simple and very brutal question. Is any of this actually making money? The last few months of that year are going to be a moment of reckoning. We're going to see companies like Meta try to turn Instagram into an AI-driven shopping mall. Amazon will start selling sovereign AI packages to entire countries. And by December, the winners and losers will start to become pretty clear, based not on who has the coolest tech, but on who figured out the best business model. And this intense pressure is forcing the birth of completely new business models. Meta is going to try to get a cut of every single transaction its AI agents help make. Amazon is going to sell AI infrastructure like a national utility. And Tesla's entire valuation could pivot from being a car company to being a company that provides autonomous labor through its robots. Ultimately, all of this leads to a profound transformation. As the source material puts it, 2026 is the year AI stops being a cool new thing and becomes essential social infrastructure, just as fundamental as the power grid or the internet itself. And this fundamentally changes the entire game. For years, the big race was all about who could build the biggest, most powerful AI model. But by the end of 2026, that race is pretty much over. The new competition is all about who can deliver the most practical value. Who can give us agents that are trustworthy, capable, and affordable enough to actually become part of our everyday lives and businesses? Which leaves us with one final and pretty critical question to think about. As we hand over more and more of our world, from scheduling our meetings to running our factories to making our purchases, to these autonomous systems, who or what is really in charge?